Hello, welcome back. Today I'm going to move all this back into here. First of all, I've got to get the Nissan out. Hopefully it will start. The battery's been on trickle charge for a couple of hours. Well, that's a big no then, isn't it? So, famously, the Nissan is refusing to start, which is very annoying because I can't actually get all the big stuff out without actually moving the car out first. But I think for now I'm going to have to actually try and move all the usual detritus out, all the stuff I've got on the workbench over here, all this sort of crap, which I'm going to have to do anyway before I move all the workbenches, so I'll just do that first while the car's on charge. But the battery's actually saying it's on full charge, it's saying it's fully charged, but it doesn't seem to want to actually fire. But it might be because it's been stood for a while. Actual shelf units, they're staying in here, the red shelf units. That one there staying in that corner with just general detritus on it. This one, sorry, that way. This one here, the other one, is going to go over here, basically next to the other car cleaning one. I'm going to put the rest of my car cleaning stuff on there and just try and neaten it up. So I've got all my products in product order, just to satisfy myself, really make it all look nice and neat and tidy. And then basically that's all that's going to be in here, is those two shelf units and the toolbox behind me and the compressor, of course, because they stay in here all the time. But there's going to be some major changes in this garage. I want to insulate the roof exactly the same as where I've done it on the workshop with the polystyrene foam, well, the bubble wrap, the polystyrene foam and the OSB board, because that seems to work really well, and I want to get that all done in the roof up here, and then I want to do all the same on the walls as well. But that's going to be after the workshop's actually completely finished, so that'll probably be a summer job, which would be nice because then I can get the Nissan out and give it a clean and a run and a drive, so it'll be a little bonus as well that way. And then on this back wall, I'm going to try and do something a little bit special on that back wall, just to give it a bit more of an interest, something a bit more exciting. But again, that's going to be in the new year, after the workshop's done and after that wall is clear. So stop waffling, I suppose, and I'll get cracking and get some more done. Okay, so the battery's actually been on charge now for probably over an hour and it's still refusing to start. I've done a test on it and it says it's 13.5, so it should be enough charge to actually kick it over. It is turning over very, very slowly, so I'm hoping it's just the battery and not the starter motor. If it's the starter motor, then I won't be able to move the car. I might be able to push it forward and try and get some bits and pieces out that way and work around it, and until I can get a new starter motor. I might even have to just take it off and test it, because it's not even that, I say it's not that old, it's probably 10 years since I fitted it. I don't know. Anyway, so I managed to actually get some bits out of the garage and into here. So I've got a few bits in here now I want to actually tidy up and sort out. I want to make this bench nice and tidy here. I've got a sort of idea what I want to do here, do some sort of display with a couple of oil cans and bits and pieces. I may set up that PC on here at some point as well, or maybe on the red bench, but I do need an area for laying up graphics. It's either going to be on this bench here or on the red bench yet. I haven't decided. Also, I may have a small area here with a cutting mat to just lay up some more graphics, because it's warmer over this side of the actual workshop as well, even though it's quite toasty in here now, actually, saying that now the roof is all done. But as you can see, there's stuff everywhere, so I'm probably going to set you up on time lapse now, and I'm just going to try and blitz this and get it all done and tidied as best I can. So it's starting to take shape a little bit. Still not 100% happy with the layout of bits and pieces, etc. I'm probably going to change all this completely. Not really sure if I'm going to keep these little shelf units in here or not. I've just got my electrical computer bits and brake pipe bits and things like that in there. So I may even put them in the garage yet. But the Nissan is still not starting. It's been on charge for 3 or 4 hours now, and the battery just does not seem to be holding charge, so I may need to get a new battery. But I've been thinking I may be able to push the car forward, take the actual red cabinet apart, which is the only big thing really, that and the toolboxes. I could probably wheel the toolboxes past the car. That need to come in here, so if I take that apart and then rebuild it in here, I think I won't have to move the car until either I get a new battery or sort out what the problem is with it not starting. But I'm going to put it back on trickle charge in the morning and just leave it on charge all day and then see what happens. Right, so it's the next day, and just as I'm walking up to the actual workshop, reminding myself I have actually got to power wash all these walls down and then finish the pointing. Now the weather's starting to dry up a little bit. I've got the rest of the ivy out there. Just move the old knackered old garden chair. Got most of the ivy out there. Still got to try and cut the bottom of the roots off, and then I'm going to power wash it all and then finish all the pointing, and on the other side as well, but that'll be coming up in another video. I've got the Nissan back on charge, but it still refuses to start. So I think it's the battery that's actually knackered, because you can hear the actual start motor engage in the first sort of turning over the car, then it clicks. If it was the start motor, then it would just click, unless it's a dirty connection on or a corroded connection on the starter motor. But I'll check all that in another video. I'm not going to go into too much detail on this. I'm just going to have to push the car forward so I can get the shelf unit out of the way and move this cabinet. Like I said, I'm probably going to take it apart to actually move it. I think the first thing I'm going to do is actually move the toolboxes, because I think they're going to be easiest to move. Probably carry the two cabinets out, the main cabinets, but the actual bottom cabinet I can just wheel around. I should have enough room around there. I think I could probably push the car back, so I've got enough room to squeeze around the front. So I think I'm going to start with that, and then I can get those in place and sort all my tools out and get them all organised, because they have been in this damp atmosphere and some of them are starting to go a little bit rusty. So I want to get it all cleaned up and WD-40'd and tidied up. I've got the sign to go back outside once I power wash the walls as well, so I'll be doing all that. The rest of the posters and things, I don't know what I'm doing yet. I'm probably going to put most of it up in here, but I'm not actually quite sure what I'm going to actually be doing. Because the main problem with this roof is the I'll just show you, is the plastic on there, which I put up there basically for when I painted the car, as just basically as a almost like a make do paint booth. But it's actually just staying up there now, but I get a lot of condensation with it being just straight onto the actual galvanised steel, which is what I was getting in the workshop before I actually insulated it and put the OSB in. So I think that would solve it in here and make it a lot nicer and a lot warmer in here as well. So like I said before, that'll be all coming up in another video in summer or sometime like that. So it's going to be a bit more of an investment in here as well to make it a little bit drier and a bit more comfortable. So I've just got the weight training for today. So I've just got the main cabinet to get out now. So I'm going to pull the car back, open the door, and come round, I think. Oh, well, that wasn't too bad. Now I'm going to get it all cleaned up and set up. So actually that wasn't actually too big of a job. Heavy work, but not too bad really. It's not exactly level on the floor, but then the floor is not perfectly level. Looks like it's going over slightly. I can't go any, well I can go a little bit further this way, but I don't want the risk of it actually rolling down into that dip there, so I left a couple of inches there. I may just chalk this side up a little bit just to level it up. The door opens with plenty of room. Just need a smaller coat hook to stop it from hitting there, so I'll just get a smaller coat hook. Like I said before, all these nails and things are all coming out of here. Yeah, and I can just wheel it forward when I paint the wall. So yeah, it's all right. Quite happy it's in here now. Keep it all dry. So I'm gonna have to go through each individual tool and clean them all up. Make sure they're all rust free. Give them a wipe over with some WD-40. Yeah. So that's one little job done. So the next one really is the red workbench. So I've got the actual cabinets in. That one was dead easy because that's just rolled. That one I managed to get on the three-wheel trolley. See, the wheel is completely gone now. So now all I've got to try and do... It's starting to lose light already. Don't you just love winter? Right, so what I'm going to try and do now is I'm going to try and use my good old rubber and nylon mallet. I'm actually going to try and take this apart, but leave the shelf unit in as best I can, and then see if I can get it through the little man door instead of dragging it all the way around. I don't see it being a problem because it's the same sort of principle as the red shells, and they just basically knock together quite easily. Having a good inspection. Yeah. Right, so that wasn't fun to say the least. I had to basically just smash it apart to actually get it in here. A bit of work to do to tidy it up, straighten a few legs and things, but it should be fine. It's just a few little bends on the actual tabs and things like that. And if I've used stuff like this before, and you can straighten it back up and it all goes back together quite easily. So I'm going to sit and do that now, and then hopefully there should be everything in here that needs to come in here, and then all I've got to do is have a really good tidy up, get it all organised, and then in the new year I can just pull things forward, cover them with plastic and decorate. So I'm thinking I'm going to go thinking like an off-white for the roof, I think, and a slightly dark, I've said all this before, in a darker colour on the walls, but we'll come to that in the new year when I pick the paints. I'll be doing that hopefully in the next week or so, and then I'll be painting it in the new year. So I'm going to get myself a cup of tea, and I'm just going to crack on and see if I can get this all put back together, and hopefully in a few seconds in your time it'll be back together. And as if by magic, it's all rebuilt. That probably took me about an hour and a half to put it all back together. Lots of bits all bent out of shape and whatever, but a little bit of brute force and ignorance, and it's all back together now. I quite like it there, actually. I think it looks really good. Drop me a comment below, tell me what you think. But I think the workshop now is really starting to shape up. Yeah, I've still got to decorate, still got to paint everywhere, but I think this bench over here is a little bit too crowded. I may streamline this area somehow, I haven't quite decided yet. I may even put some of these stuff back in the actual garage as well when that's all sorted and tidied as well. The little PC here, I think I'm going to make a stand for it to stand on there next to the actual bench, which is out of the way, tucked out of the way, and I may even just put the monitor on here and run it on this bench as well, just as a backup PC for my vinyl graphics, etc. I haven't decided yet. It's all going to be repaired anyway. That PC, the PSU's all blown up, so I've got to get a new PSU and do all that. But that's all in the future anyway. That's another project completely. But I think you'll agree, it's shaping up. It's now all nice and secure and dry and warm. Yeah, I've still got a few areas to tidy up. I've got to fix this cupboard as well, put the side on it and the shelf in it. And I won't show you in there because that's an absolute disgrace. So that'll be sorted on a later date as well. But I'm really happy with what I've done today. So I hope you found this video interesting and entertaining. If you have, drop me a like and a comment. Don't forget to subscribe as well. And I'll hopefully see you in the next video.